Tranos Contracting Limited, located in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, offers services in engineering, fabrication, maintenance and project management, energy distribution, control and automation, and has been impacted by the Bank of Industry. Well, that's our story on this episode of BOI Weekly. You're welcome. I'm Ini John Mekwa. This episode of the program took Channels Television to 22A Guinness Road, Ogba, Ikeja. That's in the heart of Lagos, where they met with the managing director of Tranos Contracting Limited. And that's where our story for today begins. Tranos is an engineering and manufacturing company adding value to lives through innovative solutions. Customer satisfaction, they say, is a key factor of the company's quality management system. From the deployment of high-precision CNC machines and the engagement of competent personnel to the institution of standard error-proof processes, Tranos guarantees the quality of its products and services with a high management system that is certified to meet the requirement of the ISO 9001:2015 standard. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Tranos takes the team from Channels Television down memory lane as he explains how the company started.
Tranos, we started about 14 years ago, and the whole idea of Tranos from the beginning was to try and set up an organization where people can come together and be able to provide value for customers. So the overriding idea was to be able to provide value to customers. Looking at staff strength, I think we probably started with 3 people, including myself, of course. So we had a small office then in VI. We started by trying to do things in terms of project management and some procurement that we're doing for oil and gas back then. Now, we wanted to provide value. So what has driven us across time to date has been trying to find out where can we provide value? What value can we provide for customers? So by asking and answering that question, we've come up with ways, we've learned a lot of things, driven by knowledge, to invest in people, invest in equipment, invest in processes that can help us provide value. So that basically covers what has brought us to where we are today. In terms of staff strength, I think as of today we're about 170 people, because we do have, at times we go as up to 200, a little over 200, when we have installation jobs or repair to do for customers on site. So we are an engineering and manufacturing company. And what that means is that we design things and we manufacture those things for customers. Those things will revolve around enclosures for various applications, both mechanical and electrical applications, power distribution equipment, that's electrical panels, electrical control panels, protection panels of various types. We make gaskets mainly for oil and gas and petrochemical applications. We make cable trays and ladders. We make warehouse racks for storages. Now, all our products are based on knowledge, meaning that you study what the customer needs, you study where the pain point is for the customer, and then you design a product to solve that problem. The drive was to solve problems. And when you're trying to solve problems in a sustainable manner, meaning that you want to be able to do this for years to come, you need to build a system. That system will involve people, it will involve processes, and it will involve a lot of knowledge. So the drive was basically to provide value, and that drives everything we do. We want to provide value. That's the first thing that comes into our minds when we're trying to deal with things, when we are speaking to customers or when we're trying to respond to customers. Because someone walks in and says, "Oh, can you do this for me?" The thing he's trying to tell you is that I have a pain. So what we need to do is to find that pain and solve the problem. And that's basically it for us. It's been quite good. In fact, up until a few years ago, we never really used to do any marketing or sales. Practically all our sales will be from word of mouth and referrals. And that shows you how customers view what we've done for them. So basically, you do something for one person, he speaks to another person about it. And in fact, we've had people come to us with problems that we hadn't solved for anyone else before. And that's actually how our range of products have grown. We've grown on the basis of identifying pain points for customers, because someone comes and says, oh, I need a certain kind of enclosure. When you build it for him, you begin to realize that, okay, there are many others like him who also need that solution. So that's how we've grown. So looking at feedback from customers, they've been mostly positive. Of course, you have customers, some are not happy with price, some might have issues that in the course of delivering to them, but at the end of the day, our focus is to make sure that the customer is satisfied fully when we are done with delivering our products or services. So we are very focused on that, because at the end of the day, we are here for the customers. So we try as much as possible to exceed the expectation of our customers, and based on that, we've been able to grow from there. So our products are first and foremost geared towards delivering power to customers. So we make various types of electrical panels and switchgear for customers, and that basically helps take power to where it's needed. We also manufacture cable trays and ladders, which is also used for power distribution for routing cables. In addition to that, we have a range of gas generators, which we now manufacture first for the telecoms market, and those generators are designed for remote applications. So we have specifically designed gas generators that can work remotely with minimal intervention, and they run on LPG. LPG is your cooking gas, so you basically are using the same gas you used to cook to power your equipment. And if you look at all that, that's why I said when you asked, I talked about power. Now, our enclosures are also used a lot for power, so we have customers that use our enclosures for generators, for protection and sound attenuation on generators. We have customers that use our enclosures for other power distribution. So you have a customer that wants to build his own panel, so he comes to us to buy his own enclosures. We make enclosures for meter boxes as well. So you know the meter in your house, it has to be protected in a particular well-designed enclosure. We make that as well. So you will see that about roughly 80% of our products are geared towards power. Our gaskets are also used in the oil and gas industry, which is energy basically. And we also have the racks. Now, racks are more industrial. It's for storage, so I'll say industrial and commercial. But you will see that a lot of our products are designed to help one way or the other in either generating power or distributing. The Nigerian power challenge is not a technology or a technical problem. It's a commercial problem. So it's similar to, years ago, we had NITEL, and there were issues with communicating. What changed wasn't a new technology really, per se. Yes, GSM was relatively new then, but that wasn't what changed. What changed was that the industry was commercialized such that it was able to attract enough investment to solve the problem. So similarly, in the power sector, what we have is there are no commercial incentives for a lot of investments to come in to change what we have. So it's not really, if it was a technology issue, we can say, okay, we can come in. And yes, we are doing that in a way with the gas generators that we have, which easily replaces diesel generators and gives a better return on investment at the end of the day. However, it will not suffice for the whole range of demands that are available for power consumers. So bottom line, the Nigerian power problem is a commercial problem, not a technical one.
From an initial staff strength of 14, Tranos now boasts of well over 100 workers, as the managing director speaks on the services provided by the company.
We we don't work with short-term benefits in mind, because what it is that in a lot of the things we do, we could have easily just gotten, say, a partner somewhere or get a manufacturer somewhere to say, okay, oh, we make warehouse racks. We get a warehouse rack partner somewhere in Europe or in Asia, and all we just do is we receive orders and import. I mean, that's an easy way of doing these things, and you make some margin on it. It's business. But we decided that rather than do that, let's learn how to produce these things ourselves and even improve on what others are doing outside. And looking at it from that perspective, I think that's what differentiates us from a lot of the people. So depending on the market you are looking at, or the group of products, the product category you are looking at, we compete differently. But one key thing that we hold is to say that I don't just want to supply you this thing or solve your problem. I want to understand how you will use it. I want to understand how I can improve on the product so that you can have a better time using the product. So that, I think, clearly stands us out from everybody else, because we have that clear dedication. It's not attractive because it doesn't make money for you immediately. It's a long-term thing, because we believe that at the end of the day, that process will get us to be able to provide better value for customers and also help us grow as an organization. So challenges in business, especially in an environment like Nigeria, is continuous. So I'm not going to be able to say I've solved some of the problems, but I'll think of some of the lingering challenges we have. And I think, for me, the biggest challenge would be supply chain. For a manufacturer, you are basically getting input materials, raw materials, and you're either converting them into some other stuff or you are incorporating them into an assembly. Now, the thing is this: if you're a manufacturer, right, one small pin missing from the full bill of materials of what you are producing means that you can't finish that production. And in a country like Nigeria, where there are limited availability of support industries, meaning industries that can manufacture some of your own inputs, especially in our own case, it means that we have to bring a lot of things in. The challenge is that importation, clearing of goods is a lot of pain. So I would think that that's one of the major challenges we face, because so you'll have we try to do what we call a lean manufacturing process. And in lean manufacturing, there's another concept called just in time. So you go to a factory, say in a place like Japan, like one of our partners, Yanmar. They don't keep inventory for more than 4 days, meaning that what I need to produce on Thursday arrives in my factory on Monday. So it doesn't stay in my storage for more than 4 days. We can't even dream of that. And they can say that because even if the goods are coming into Japan from, say, Germany, for example, they've planned it such that it will arrive 4 days before. And that also means that they expect that, okay, clearing of goods will take probably for them 24 hours. And it always takes 24 hours. But we can't say that. So while they are storing goods for 4 days, we probably have to store goods for 6 months. So you are tying down money. Now, it even gets worse, because at times you are planning that, okay, these goods will probably get to me in 3 months. So I place an order. It takes about maybe a month to produce, and then it takes about 6 weeks to ship. Then I'll clear in 2 weeks. The problem is that shipping and clearing is usually unpredictable. So you will plan something for a particular duration, but you are never sure. So you always have issues with you are producing, you have to stop because the raw materials you were expecting did not come in. So, those sort of disruptions have a significant impact on a manufacturing operation. Then also one area we had a challenge with then was finding the right personnel. Now, we were coming into a market where we needed to produce things that weren't being done. So a lot of times you see that the things we decide to produce will always be firsts where no one has actually done it before. So you bring in a machine to do certain things, And ideally, what you want to do is to say, oh, okay, there are already knowledgeable people in this area that I can just place an advert and then select the people I want. But it doesn't work that way because there aren't knowledgeable people in those areas. So what you then have to do is that you have to now take a couple of steps back and say, okay, I can't find the knowledgeable people. That means that I have to train. And, we talked about knowledge earlier. That's part of why it works for us, because rather than what in other countries people will typically do is find an experienced person to recruit. What we have to do is, we know that we can't find experienced people, so we have to start with people who can learn. So, and that's where ability to learn. So as part of our core values is this ability to learn and continuously improve on yourself. So we find people that are like that, and we give the necessary training to be able to run our equipment and run plants we have. And that's important for us. It's a bit of a challenge because it means that you are starting from, as I said, you are taking a couple of steps back to start further down the line. And also, it also means that we have to be patient with people to learn and come up to speed.
The team embarks on a guided tour of the factory, including the engineering department, where products are designed to customer specification. The production manager outlines the various stages.
This is a fabrication company, and this is where everything comes together. In here we have the mechanical assembly area and the generator assembly area. Over here what they're doing is they're assembling a TG1000 generator. They have 4 stages over there. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, where they mount all the components. At the end of the day, we put in the oil and then the testing is done, which completes the process. On the other side is panel assembly. They are fixing the frames and all the side walls to complete the panel. It's actually an electrical panel, but for this purpose, the client doesn't have the components here, so this is going to be installed on the site. For what we're doing here, we're just putting the components, the mechanical components together. Over here to the front is a finished product. We have all our finished products. We have a feeder pillar, we have wall-mounted enclosures, we also have some freestanding enclosures here and some panels that have electrical components in them. Over here we have our cable processing area. This is where we process our bus bars, we also process our cables, and these components go into panels that we have to do electrical assembly for in here. So we have the capability to do electrical assembly in here, or we can also mount these components in the client's facility, depending on what the client wants.
The production manager outlines the various stages.
It's one of our finished products. It's actually called a feeder pillar, and its application is for putting electrical components as well. So it has the enclosure itself, and it also has a stand for positioning the feeder pillar. We also have lashes here for lifting the feeder pillar. Now this is a finished product, it's wrapped, it's already approved by the quality, and this is ready for shipment. Over here we have our electrical panel. So this is a 40 amp panel and it's ready.
From the design stage to the finished product, the production manager takes our team to another factory where finished products are displayed.
And it's actually producing a tray right now. So it basically moves through the line and goes through the row forming one unit.
Two senior members of staff of Tranos manufacturers explain their roles in the production process.
We work with different departments. We work with the sales team, production, quality, and supply chain. When we receive a request from the supply chain, the sales team, in form of a request for quotation, we prepare a bid of material in response to that request. And we have an ERP system of GSS ERP system, whereby we prepare this bill of material and sell to the sales team. Aside from the bill of material, we equally provide manufacturing drawings for the production team. When we receive a request from the sales team, we convert that request into a 3D CAD model, something like this. We have different product line. This is one of our product line, a low voltage switchgear that was modeled based on the client's request. We work with we have in-house electrical team that give us a schematic and a component arrangement diagram, which we convert into a 3D model. And from the 3D model, we provide different drawing for the production team to produce. Aside from the switchgear, we equally have other models. We have a couple of softwares. We have Autodesk Inventor, Autodesk Design Suite. We have SolidWorks, and we equally have Solid Edge from Siemens. So we have other product line. This is a transformer enclosure. This is a transformer enclosure done for one of our clients recently. The client brought their transformer in-house, and we took the necessary dimensions. Can you rotate? We took the necessary dimension and the transformer, and we did an analysis to check the structural integrity of the base to ensure that it can sustain the weight of the transformer. This is one of our product line, the warehouse rack that was done for a client recently. We got the layout of the client's workshop, and we optimized the layouts to provide the suitable rack for their system. So what we do majorly is to work with client requests and to provide engineering solution for the manufacturing to bring the product back to life.
With an expensive tour of Tranos Contracting Limited, the managing director speaks on their challenges, just as he appreciates the Bank of Industry for its intervention.
In terms of financing, BOI is open, and we've worked with them now for about 4 years or something or thereabout, maybe a little more than that. Because of the professionalism that I have seen there, because a lot of people still assume that it's not possible to get introduced to BOI and be able to walk through the process to get your facility. But it does happen. So my advice to young entrepreneurs will be, don't believe what you hear. Try and go in and try for yourself, because if you have a genuine business case, I believe that BOI can support you. I think it's a partnership, and they also understand that. So we are looking at the present, midterm, and future. And I think that this partnership we have with BOI will continue for a long time to come. And how that is going to be is that we expect to still work with BOI. So let's continue to build this partnership for the long term.
Tranos is built on the dream of establishing an organization where individuals are given the opportunity to leverage their talents and abilities, joining these abilities with those of colleagues, teammates, and state-of-the-art technology to provide world-class products and services. They pride themselves as an organization focused on bringing the best out of their workforce, individuals, and businesses through logical and creative thinking, using state-of-the-art technology to provide world-class products and services. And that's why the company says it is one that thinks further. You could be the next beneficiary. That's if you're an entrepreneur out there, or you know anyone who needs support to grow their businesses. Kindly visit any of BOI's branches closest to you, or just log on to the website www.boi.ng, and you can also follow other social media platforms of the Bank of Industry, and you'll be sure to also be on the program and get that support that you need for your business. That's it on this episode of BOI Weekly. I'm Ini John Mekwa.